So is it?
Click, go. Right, okay. Hello and welcome to the second show in the lockdown series of conversations with creative professionals, namely, in this case, creative imaging, creative content creators. And this week's episode, I am talking to Ailsa Bee. She lives in Mobley with her two young children. Some of you might know her personally, locally, if you've seen her, but she's become more recently more recognised with her lockdown study of local residents, featured in local national media. Is that right, Ailsa? Have I got that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so ultimately, thank you for joining us this evening.
You're welcome.
And
Thank you for having me.
what we're just going to go through a few things. I think ideally, it's more like tell me about your creative career. I'm intrigued to know more about your sort of like your history and what led you to being a photographer. Have you always been a photographer? Is this something that's just happened to you, or have you aspire to that? So tell me, give me the lowdown.
Okay, it's a bit of a random story, so do steer me back if I go off on a waffle. But I used to be a mental health nurse. That's how I started my career. For 4 years, I did that. I didn't like it. So I worked in a medium secure setting and it was really quite stressful. It didn't really suit my personality. So I was always the one with the camera, growing up and going out and stuff like that. And then, so I'd been a nurse for about 3 and a bit years maybe. And my partner at the time gave me an SLR camera. And I was one of those naive people who thought, oh, I can take nice pictures. I can be a photographer. So that's kind of what set me off. And I started my business and I kind of did it alongside nursing for a while. But then when I got pregnant with my first child and I went off on maternity, I thought I'm not going back to nursing. So I thought I'm going to do this full time. And it was a steep learning curve. But here I am.
So when that's okay, the mental health nursing thing. That's very interesting. We're not going to go into too much detail, but I do an awful lot of filming and photography in and around mental health care. I have done for the past 5 years or so. I find it fascinating. I also find it amazing that the people who are giving their time up to do that, it's unbelievable. I still am blown away how people are so unbelievably dedicated to that job. But it's a pleasure to go and photograph them at work and understand what their background is and why they're doing, what the motives are.
Yeah.
And it's been really quite interesting actually. That so but I understand why you've found something that actually gives you even greater pleasure in photography.
Yeah.
So did you know when you picked up the camera a long time ago? You said as a child you picked up a camera. Did you when did you actually know that it was going to be the thing?
Um, like I said, I've always been the one with the camera, and it used to frustrate me. When you've got a point and shoot, and in your head how you want a picture to look, and it frustrated the hell out of me that when I took my pictures, it looked nothing like that. So I guess I just needed to know how to take those pictures that I could see in my head. Sounds a bit random.
No,
Yeah.
no. I get that because it's you have a pre-formation of how something should look. I mean,
Yeah.
when I go into a shoot, I'm already before I get there. Sometimes it'll keep me awake the night before, thinking about how is this looking, how is that looking, especially if you don't know what you're going into. So that is interesting actually. It is interesting. So when did you start to take it into more of a professional status when you're actually doing it and you're getting paid to do jobs?
So it was probably in the last year that I was still nursing. I was doing the odd bit. I started with like family portraits, and then I did weddings, and that was like really scary to start off with. But and then it just kind of built up. And then the thing is, because then I started doing it properly after I'd left nursing, and had my babies and things. So I wasn't actually doing it proper all the time. It was just still dipping in and out. So I suppose it's only been the last 4 years that I've really started pushing it properly and actually putting the effort in that I've needed to put in.
That's interesting, because I've actually, because the standard of your work, the quality of your work is, it doesn't come across as like you've only just been doing it for a short while. It comes across as someone who understands. I'll just knock my microphone. Someone who understands composition and structure, and
I suppose it has been a long time. It's been about 12 years since I started. So I suppose I had an easy build up. Yeah, but thank you.
Yeah, it's all right. It's fine. No, I think so I think what we'll do is I'm gonna crack on to the your study in and around Mobley resonance. And it's just as a sort of a lightweight thing where we'll just look at, I've got about 12, 13 pictures. We'll just go through them. And it may be worth just saying which ones you think, or just literally talking about the composition of them, structure. I'm sure if we do get any comments, they're going to, it'll be about who and, what tech and things. We'll try and save that to the end. But if someone asks a question about any composition, then we can push it out there. So I'm going to start off with the first shot, which is this chap. Just talk me through this. Talk me through this shot.
I've lost it on my screen now. Hang on.
It's okay. I think you said it's Mick the Brick.
Oh yeah, I've got it now. Yeah, Mick the Brick. That's my neighbour. Right, it just sums him up perfectly. Because I think when it was in the paper, they made out like it was a funny, like a different thing, but actually that's him every day. It just in
a Batman outfit,
in a onesie, and playing his mouth organ thing. Yeah, that's just him.
So it's a very interesting. So how did that shot present itself? Was he just there, or did you set that up, or? I think I was on my way out to do the window pictures somewhere, and I think I told him what I was doing, and I asked him if I could take his picture, and he said when, and I said right now. So that's what he did. Yeah. Right. So it's pretty much of the moment as is.
Yes.
Capture it. Right. Very interesting.
But that was what I wanted of people. I wanted them, just purely them. I didn't want them to prepare really or anything. So yeah, that was one of my favourites.
So do you find that? I mean, do you find that getting them ad hoc in the moment gets a better style from the shot? You get better quality out of it, more lifelike, or is there a technique you'd advise?
It's difficult because some people like to prepare, and I know for a fact that some people got dressed especially for the picture. But I just prefer it when it's most real. So that was why that was one of my favourites, because that you could literally find him like that any day.
Got it. No,
yeah.
I think it's I do like that. Right, we'll move along to the next one. What I might do is just rather than just be a slideshow with some narrative, I'll flick through it.
Okay.
So the shot with the preschoolers.
This is Mobley Primary School.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how was this? I mean, go on.
Well, I went to one of my girls' teachers had seen the shots on Facebook, and she asked if we would nip to the school and take a picture of her. So we did. And then she mentioned that we might want to come and take pictures of all the teachers, and they could make a book at the end of it. So that has been our plan. We've been going to school a lot, really, because there's 2 different teachers on every day. Well, sometimes more. And so I've been shooting them through the gates and then doing something in the playground as well. And the girls have loved it because they've got to see the teachers. So it's been really nice.
So, right, okay, because I think it's. I mean, there are some schools that are still active and doing things, and I think people perhaps. I mean, we are. I mean, I'm a parent. My girls are at home. We're combining all sorts of activities, including homeschooling, with homeworking and cooking and things.
Yeah.
But there are people, key workers are out there whose kids are still at school. But it's interesting
Yeah.
to see that interaction. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. It's been really nice.
Oh, I like that. And of course, we have the town ranger in our next shot with his dear lady.
Bob
Now,
and
I
Zoe.
know when we were looking at this earlier, we were talking about how, how this was shot. But just give us a quick commentary on it.
Sorry, you cut out a bit then.
Oh, sorry. Just give me a little bit of background on how this, on that shot itself, because you've got Bob there.
Bob's in the reflection.
It looks like he's sneaking in somehow, and then you've got Zoe there.
This was so Zoe's one of my best friends. She was the one who prompted me to do this, because she sent me the article from the Brighton Photographer, and she said, "Have you seen this?" And I hadn't seen it, and I said, "That's brilliant. Let's put it on Mobley Matters." So that's how it started. So I think this was the first or the second shot I took, and they were a bit reluctant to go because it's the garage window, and she didn't really want to go in because there wasn't any space. But I said, I really want that mandala thing in, because it's just like sums her up as well. So, and then Bob was in the reflection, so it's one of my favourites straight away.
I think there's some real depth to that shot. I absolutely love it. Absolutely,
I love the books in it as well.
Yeah, well, it just looks like it looks like it's a happen chance. You've just arrived on the scene, and there you are, and there they are, and that's it, which is lovely. Right, I'll scoot along to another one. I'll skim through a few of these, and then I'm the bullseye window shot. I think that's immense. That I think that's quite everyone looks completely sardinified in that.
They are. It just called out that window. And I think the lady had suggested it anyway, so it was she was already prepared to squeeze in there. It's good.
She was doing a bit of art direction. Love it. The shot that pretty much caught my eye in the first deck was Laura and from the railway, and it's just because I know that building. I used to live on Smith Lane. I know that area.
I do love that picture.
But because you've got the signifier is the what's it called, the planter that shows that there's depth, that they feel trapped, but also there's a bit of humour going on there, and I think it's great. So was that a setup or how did that one work?
Well, the first shot I got was round the corner in the shade, and it was like a barn door, and I thought that was going to work better, but actually we said, we'll just try the window. I didn't think the sunlight, because the sunlight was so bright, I didn't think it would work, but actually it was perfect.
Got it.
And Zach's face just makes it.
Yeah, it does. It does look a pained expression. I do like that.
But what you said about the planter, I've tried to do that in a lot of them, because the whole project is based on distance. I've tried to get something in the foreground in a lot of pictures, because I like that. I like the depth of it.
Yeah, I think that sets the frame, and also helps the viewer get a handle on the overall depth of it, which I think is quite cool.
Absolutely.
So and it also shows that you're obviously maintaining social distance,
keeping my distance.
Keeping distance. No, I like that. It's that depth which makes it, helps build that frame, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
Now the parrot, what? The parrot shot. What? That was another one I'm looking at, thinking, it's just how he stood. It's sort of like, here am I with a parrot. Look at my lovely. Is it a Norwegian blue? I'm not going to go into a Monty Pythonism now.
Oh, I don't know what it was, but that wasn't my suggestion. That's Scott Manning from the Methodist Church.
Right.
And he said, I'll just go and get my parrots. I was like, brilliant. I love it when people bring something in that they've already thought of. It's ace.
Well, it's sort of. I'm not getting props in shots is one thing, but when it's a living thing, and it really is different and unusual. Not expected either. I just thought, this is my normal. This is my everyday. Have a look at this.
Well, yeah, I love that. I love being surprised by people. It's nice.
Yeah, because all of a sudden it just adds that injection of energy into something which you're already looking for the energy, but then all of a sudden this spark comes alive and it ignites the whole scene.
It's a bonus. Yeah, definitely.
It is a bonus. So Green Oak Farm. Where's Green Oaks Farm? I should know, but I don't.
It's down. I always forget the Ostlers Lane.
Okay,
You
are
know,
they dairy farmers?
yes, and they've just started, well, I don't know if it's just started, but not that long. They're doing raw milk.
All right, yeah, I know. Yeah, I've heard of that. I know it.
Yeah, so I've been there a couple of times to get the milk. It's brilliant. It's nice because you can see the cows and stuff. Yeah, it's good.
Good.
They were lovely.
Lovely. And then, of course, Ian Blay.
That's my favourite, I think.
Who is, as ever, looking as resplendent as he can be. But I'm... did you, was this a call before? Did you call them beforehand to get that set up, or did you actually do that?
No, I wouldn't, because I want people to come across like they are or like they want to come across. But no, they were this. When I turned up, they were ready. In fact, they said they'd been like that for a while waiting for me. And I love it because I think it just sums them up perfectly.
I was trying to think whether or not actually that's, it's locked down. I may as well, because I've been tracking the vicar's hair. He's been quite proud of the size of his hair, which is a little strange, but I think it's good. I think Ian's done a great job with that. It's good.
I love it. I love it. The only thing I did on that was I asked Father Ian to have a deadpan look, and then Suzanne was smiling, which I quite liked the difference between them, because at first they were both smiling, but I had different shots of the same thing, but that was the expressions I loved.
Yeah, I think there's a nice contrast with that. It is cool. It's a great shot, that. Father Ian, right? Okay, I feel like I've been addressing him incorrectly all these years.
Oh no, I don't think so. Well, that's just what we call him.
He did. I did have a goatee for many years, and he always complained, "Why have I shaved it off? Why have I've become one of the normal people?" It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, oh, grow it back. Okay, so send wine and teachers. Was that in there anyway? Was that a chance moment?
That was just in the window. I don't know if it was there for the picture or if it was just there anyway. I don't know, but I just liked it. It caught my eye. And it's true, isn't it? We all need wine and teachers.
Wine and teachers.
It's like
a special selection. Yeah, call the wine and teacher hotline.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. Now, your friend with this unbelievable NBC style mask,
John,
is that like a day job or something where he has to use that thing all the time, or is he special service and we can't say anything?
No, he did serve in the military. So I think he's got still a bit of kit floating around.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's right there in his head.
Yeah, but I just love that because I love it because it could be a normal family portrait, and it's just a little extra.
Yeah, I think it's a cracking shot, actually. Absolutely love it. And there we've got another where you've got some nice depth there with some greenery in the foreground. But this scene here was another one that I quite liked because the family's squeezed in again, sardine style. Was that another post shot, or was that?
Well, there was actually a few. This family's over the road, and I took a few because they were totally up for it, which I really like. I love it when I haven't approached anyone for these pictures. I've just waited for people to ask because I wanted willing volunteers. So, and some people obviously, really up for it and they get into it. And
Well, that's I think the woman, her expression. I like her expression actually, they're all great. They're just all stuck in there. It's the hands squeezed up against the glass. That's a great shot. I like that.
Yeah.
And then we have the Dobson family. And
yes.
I like the daft punkness of this more than anything else. You got the welly boots and everything there, but it's just the fact that it's almost like an identity hidden but also revealed, which is great.
Well, Sharon did ask them, I think, to take their heads off, and I said no, leave them on because I just think it makes a picture. So I did take a normal one as well, and I think she also asked if I wanted to move the wellies, but no, I wanted them in. I like the wellies.
Yeah, I think the wellies complete that shot. It bonds the rural setting, but also it just shows interest there, which I like that. I just think. Well,
this is it. It's the details that a lot of people think is clutter, but actually just tells part of the story, doesn't it?
And I think that's when people tidy stuff away. For me, it's like and this is going to sound a bit odd, but Tracy Emin's the Unmade Bed, that entire scene, I got it. I understood it because I as a as a visual person, I can see what's happening. I understand the story. I mean, people think, oh no, it's rubbish. It's not. But that's interpretation. But when you see something, you're seeing a snapshot of an existence, a snapshot of life, and so clearing away clutter for that's why you go into a dusty old like wooden workshop or metal workshop where they've not quite cleaned anything down. It's been like that for a while. My eyes just come out on stalks. It's like, oh, can I get that? Can I shoot this? So I think you're absolutely right to have kept the wellies in there. I think to have pull those out, I think it would have completely changed that shot.
But it's all because it's a snapshot of life as it is now, isn't it? So I just don't think you can't clear up your life, can you? Well, sometimes.
No. Well, yeah, that's a topic for another time.
Well, yes, that's another video.
And finally, we've got the greenhouse, and the greenhouse we've got there's some depth there, but it's just the expression because I mean I know these guys personally, and I know there's energy there, but I just like this sort of trapped in, trapped out, trapped outside affair. I think it's lovely that I do like that.
Well, it was an afterthought, this shot really, because I'd already done their shots like in a field by the fence with the dogs and everything, and I was on the way out, and the blossom tree was just so pretty. And obviously, because it's a window project, I just thought it's got to be done, hasn't it, behind glass? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. They're squeezed in there, which is quite interesting. I do like that. So, what I want to try and look at is what is looking at life before lockdown, before anything sort of ground to a halt, and what it's like now, just on work-wise, because I know there's a lot of, as freelancers, we know we're pretty much in the same boat. But how has it been for you? How have you coped with it?
Well, before, I mean, it's frustrating really, because before, I mean, like everyone, life's just so busy, isn't it? It's rush, 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 which isn't ideal, but you just do what you've got to do. So yeah, since lockdown, I mean, I've not done any work. I've done the odd bit. I've photographed brownies for a friend, and that's about it. And obviously the window project. So yeah, I've not really done anything, but it's nice to be creative. That's one thing that I definitely miss, because this is why I did it really, because when you're working, even though I love photography, when you're working as a photographer, you're working to pay the bills. You don't really get any time to do creative things that just fulfill you. So it was nice to get a chance to do something like that, which is what the window project is all about. Yeah, I've kind of drifted off. What was the question?
It's all right. This is our world, because the vision.
So work-wise, I mean, yeah. Obviously, there's the worry about paying bills and rent and things like that. I'm trying to look at it as a gift, that we might never get this chance again to take some time and slow down and actually be creative. So it's not going to last forever, hopefully.
No, I agree. I think that's a really good approach. That, I mean, bills and stuff. I've lost pretty much all of my freelance work. I've got some work, some retention work that's paying the bills, and I'm exceptionally grateful for that. And they're getting a lot more hours than they would ordinarily do, but I know what the outcomes are from that work. So right, it's very interesting to hear other people. I speak to quite a few other people, but it's rarely I get to speak to photographers or people, imaging professionals who are in this situation. So it is that's interesting.
The most frustrating thing was, that like just before, the last couple of months before lockdown, I'd have this new offer about headshots, like these mini sessions, and they were really popular. And I'm sure they will be again when we come out, but I was just starting to feel like, yes, this is like really good, and obviously I can't do it anymore, but I'm sure it'll come back. Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
No, it will do. Things will come back. They may take a bit of time. I think the prediction is that it's going to be a huge spike, then it'll fall off, then it'll spike again, then it'll level out, and then it'll go back to where it was. It is an unknown. It really is an unknown, which makes it harder to even plan for. But no,
Yeah.
I did see your session. So I think making an offering like that bite size is also a good way to capture new clients and build from it, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've not seen any comments whatsoever. So as we're entering a sort of bit of a Q&A side of things, I've not actually seen anything pop up. So I'm just going to go and very, very quickly log into into my screen and make sure the feeds are coming through, and that way we can at least get something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. Okay. So what it's doing, it's actually I'm gonna read out some questions because we have a couple, not many,
Okay.
but we have a couple. Right, Mark Lee Kilgariff, who's a good friend of mine and is has a Tatton Perk. He is the Tatton Perk man, also with an orange van.
I like Mark.
Says, great photographer, don't like the colour of a van, though. So I think it'd be nice to see you parking side by side, actually, when all
We
of this
did.
is over.
We did at school.
Right. I didn't know
We did the summer fair last summer. In fact, it was Ernie's first outing, and we parked side by side, and we've got pictures of it to prove it.
Wow. Right. Okay. I don't think I've even seen that shot.
I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah, you have a Keeley Ansel plant says they will become part of the history of Mobley. So very well done. Which is very nice, actually. I think that's a nice comment there. So
yeah, well
look,
it is history, isn't it? So.
We're struggling to get any more sort of comments out of it. So I think that as far as a Q&A, we may have to look at doing something another time.
That's all right.
I think it's been an interesting sort of session, at least to sort of broadcast. Although I've had to completely butcher my internet connection in order to at least get something to be pushed out there. So, but at least we're here, and it's been good fun. So, Ailsa, thank you very much indeed, and
You're very welcome.
And thank you for joining me. And hopefully, we'll someone may post some comments and get some more interest with us. Thank you very much.
Thank
and
you.
I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Yes. Bye.